Who is this new Lara Croft?
Wow, this is the beginning. This is a Lara Croft which people have never seen before. 21, straight out of college, and looking for her first adventure.
When did you have the idea to take Lara in this new gritty direction?
We started out about 3 years ago, sitting down and talking about what would Crystal do with the game beyond just working through Legend and Anniversary and into Underworld. So right now, what you're experiencing is a lot of the early work about 3 years ago saying, where would we like to take a character like this, and what is the Crystal Dynamics flavor of moving a game forward?
How did people feel, on your team, about this project when they saw the severity of Lara's struggle this time around?
They quickly latched onto it and delivered what you see today.
Yeah, I'd say the team as a whole is really excited to work on something of quality, right? And to sit down and make a game that we want to play and to take things further than what our initial ideas are and continue to polish on them and bring them together to a point that gamers everywhere are like, man, that's a really cool element when she falls on the spike and rips it out, and they kind of feel like they're there in the environment. That's as exciting for us as it is for a gamer.
And that's kind of the question I have, because she breaks her arm right away in the demo you showed during one of the conferences. A spike goes through like the side of her body. Did anybody have any hesitance to how beat up she was actually going to get?
We spent a lot of time looking at actual real-life events, such as Aaron Ralston cutting his arm off because he got stuck with a rock in a hard place. So for us, it's about not putting the kid gloves on it, and about saying if you're going to do survival, it's about showing real, true survival.
Was multiplayer ever considered?
I think with every game at this early stage, you look at all the different options. At this stage, our focus as a studio, as Crystal Dynamics, is to make sure that we deliver the best single-player experience that we possibly can. We'll see in the future, things open up, things change, but right now our focus is solely on the single-player.
Are you going to be releasing this on the Wii U, the new platform that was just announced this morning?
Obviously it only just got announced this morning, so for us we haven't had a chance to even think about it yet. Obviously there's been a lot of rumor. There's been a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation about what it can do. I think we made the promise very early on, and we'll stick by it, in that for us it's about developing a unique experience per platform, making sure that it's consistent and lives up to our benchmark. Only finding out about it today. I think there's a lot of people going to be scrambling to see what they can do with it. I don't foresee it in the future just yet, but never rule it out. Depends on what kind of platform it is.
For us, it's about looking at what each platform brings to the table, how we can take advantage of it, and how we can provide a game and an experience in line with what that particular gamer is interested in. So we'd have to have talks and understand what the platform offers in detail.
There was a few weapons shown in the game. What kind of tools will she have at her disposal for defeating enemies?
At this stage of the campaign, we're only talking about the growth of a character, about setting and establishing sort of the first stage of how she's just landed on the island. She needs to understand the space, understand physics and the elements such as fire and water. Over time, we'll start getting into sort of gear gating and what it means to have items and what they can do for you, but it's still a little bit early for us to get into that. She's only just gotten there.
Well, in the demo, we saw the uncle doing the dual gun wielding. Like, is that kind of a nod to old Tomb Raider fans?
Not the uncle.
He's a family friend, bit of a mentor to Lara, but really no, it wasn't meant to be a sort of nod to anything about two guns. It's just a situation he found himself in. But nonetheless, we'll look at opportunities to be able to bring back some of the things that are iconic about Tomb Raider and some of the things that Lara has done over the years. But I will say that's not one of them right now.
Are we going to see any other characters that we remember from the older games?
I think right now we're talking about where she's going in her own growth, where she starts out and where she starts to mature to. Looking at other characters is something that we'd have to sit down and understand how that would tie into a focus on her and how she matures. I think that it's really about a gamer understanding the resourcefulness of Lauren, kind of saying, what would I do in that situation? And I feel this relation to her as a character. Historical partners within the universe are stuff that we'd have to look at in more detail down the road.
Throwing him over that question. Go for it. Right now, there's no plans to have them included, but as Kyle said, obviously, never say never. We have to look at the relationship to the experience. But right now, no, there's no characters due to make a cameo.
So when you finish this experience, is Lara going to be the fully mature Lara that we all know? Or will this make her a stronger woman? Or is this going to be a series of games where she builds to that character?
So ultimately the goal is that there's a portion or a point in time in the game where we kind of sit back and go, that's the Lara Croft I know. Yeah, so our goal is to sort of set the foundations for the growth of a new Lara Croft. At the end of this game, she will not put on those tight shorts and the blue top and turn back into the old Lara Croft. That's something that we've made the decision very early on. This is about redefining who she is and redefining the future of the Tomb Raider franchise. But at the same point, we make sure that it's still inherently Tomb Raider, still works towards the pillars of what it means to be Lara Croft and Tomb Raider. And of course, the opportunity once it's finished is to be able to look ahead at spans across a franchise. But right now, as I said, our focus is on single player that we're working on.
Are you guys going to take down Uncharted?
I hope we take down a lot of games.
Yeah.
I'm not pointing at anyone in particular. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it?
I'm not pointing at anyone. It's
Do you guys-
about expressing what the team as a whole would like to get on the screen.
And do you have a release date yet?
We're looking at fall 2012.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys very much for doing the interview with me.
Thank you very much.